What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the newest Marvel superhero film, Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is directed by Taika Waititi of What We Do in the Shadows fame, stars Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Cate Blanchett, Mark Ruffalo, Karl Urban, Tessa Thompson, Jeff Goldblum. All kinds of people are in this movie. The first thing that I have to say about this film is it is so much fun. This movie has so much panache, so much style. There's just so much oozing out of it, and I loved that about this because I feel like that was something in the first two Thor movies that was just missing so much. Every other superhero movie has this real style to it, whether it's gritty or funny or techie, whatever it is, they all have their own style, and I think finally they found a style for Thor that worked because this movie was such an entertaining time in the movie theater. This is arguably the funniest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I understand that saying that puts it up against Guardians of the Galaxy and also Iron Man, but this movie is so funny, and there's comedy coming from every single character in it, which I think is so important. Everything in this movie that is comedy related hits its mark. There are little to no jokes that got no laughs in the theater when I was there, and that is such a rare occasion, especially at superhero movies, where some people have such stringent rules on what superhero movies are supposed to be like that they just refuse to laugh. This movie was getting laughs from everyone. All of the returning cast does a great job in this film. I think Chris Hemsworth was really great as Thor in this movie. I think that this is the first time his character has had a true emotional connection to what's going on in the story. He always has had moments in films, but I think the whole story of this is really about the progression of his character, and I really enjoyed that. Cate Blanchett plays the villain Hela, and she was really great. She is one of the most sinister villains that we've seen in the Marvel Universe, and I really enjoyed that. She is ruthless, she is dark, she is gritty, and Cate Blanchett played it beautifully. Now, I've stayed away of giving a true plot description for this film because I think that it's so important that you see the movie to understand what's going on. However, Cate Blanchett's character is just this ancient evil that returns to destroy Asgard, and she basically banishes out Thor and Loki, who then have to find a way back to come and stop the destruction of Asgard. That's all I'm going to say, but I do really enjoy the plot of this film. I don't want to give too much away in the story. I will say this is one of my favorite plots from a Marvel film thus far because of how much emotional connection there was for every character in it, and I really think that that helped to sell all of the action in this film. Because let me tell you, this movie has a ton of action, and all of it is so awesome. It has some of my favorite action sequences that I've seen thus far in superhero films. Thor is so good. Mark Ruffalo is of course great as Bruce Banner, but Thor himself is so fun in every action sequence that he is. He brings good comedy along with bringing really, really epic action moments, and I really loved that aspect of his character being in this film because I think a lot of people worried he might feel out of place, but he was perfect. The film was full of dope set pieces, bright colors, and all of this looked spectacular in IMAX, and I cannot praise Waititi enough on his direction of this film. This is the first time this guy has directed anything with a massive budget like this, and he knocked it out of the park. Like, I will not be surprised at all if he starts getting handed other big budget films because he did such a phenomenal job with this movie. Valkyrie, who's played by Tessa Thompson, is a super badass female character that I really enjoyed in the film. Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster is just like picture perfect. Like, he's so funny because he's so weird and offbeat, and I loved every single scene that he was in because it's just like, it's Jeff Goldblum just playing a guy that's in space, but I love it so much. I would watch a Grandmaster solo film. He's so funny and quirky and weird, and it fits so well with this film's aesthetic, and I just loved every single second that he was on the screen. And also Taika Waititi, the director, voiced a character in this film named Korg, who is one of the funniest new introductions that we've had in the Marvel Universe in a long time. I loved every single scene that he was in. He didn't have a line that didn't hit its mark. Everything was so funny, it's all delivered so perfectly, and Waititi's voice on the character that he's playing is so funny because it's such a sharp contrast. Now, while the comedy in this film is really good, I did think there were a few scenes that they placed jokes into that would have had more of an impact on the audience had they left the comedy out. They would have carried more emotion, and they would have felt more integral to the story, where with the comedy there, they feel a little more like whimsical and funny, and while the jokes still hit and were good, I think if they would have been pulled out of those scenes and kept more serious, it would have been better for the overall flow of the film. And then the other issue that I have is with character arcs. Now, while the main character of Thor has a character character arc in this film, and I thought his was phenomenal. I honestly think most of the character arcs in this film are really good. There are a few on smaller side characters in the film that I felt sort of just came out of nowhere. And while I know if you watch the film you see the telltale signs that something like these could happen in the future of the film, it just sort of felt like when they did eventually happen and then they were just over and done super quick, it sort of felt like maybe there should have been more of a lead up, or that character in particular should have been built more so that sequence felt more important, because it sort of just felt like a little bit of a pandery switch the couple times that it happened in the film, and I wish that they would have invested more time in those characters so we cared more about them and their eventual change of heart, good or bad. I'm gonna give Thor Ragnarok an A-. I think that this will go down as either the second or third best solo MCU film at the time. I really enjoyed it. I cannot wait to see it again because I really want to start putting together my Marvel Universe list and deciding what goes where and what's best and what's worst. But this movie, I can tell you, will be near the top. It is so well done and I'm so happy for Taika Waititi. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this review, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Thor Ragnarok, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and I hope to see you guys later.